Well, good day YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Albino Rhino beer review. Today you have the Rhino, and we're going to look at a beer from a brewery that I knew was opening. And in May when I was in Barrie, it wasn't quite open yet. And thank you to Ben for sending this beer out. But this is a beer from the Redline Brewhouse. Now they are a brew pub, I do believe would be their size and their motto. But Redline is in Barrie. Barrie actually has, if this beer is good, Barrie has some wonderful breweries. Because Barnstormer makes some wonderful beers, as does Flying Monkeys. And then you're so close to Muskoka for things like Sawdust City and for things like Muskoka itself. Like, there is some great beer in that part of Ontario, and if this is good, they're 3 for 3 for me if this is a good beer. And he sent me 2 of their beers, but I'm going to do this one first. This one is 5.4% alcohol by volume. This is Redline Brewhouse's Leather Interior, which is a brown ale with vanilla and almond. So, nut brown ale, I'm going to assume, brewed and packaged at Redline Brewhouse, 431 Bayview, Unit 8 and 9 in Barrie, Ontario. Store cooled, drink fresh, and drink responsibly. Allergen alert, contains nuts. Allergen alert, contains nuts. Allergen alert, contains nuts. Well, where's your allergen alert contains barley? If you're going to do an allergen alert for nuts, you might as well do an allergen alert for barley, because, I mean, in all honesty, there are no ingredients on this can, so some stupid celiac could drink it and then try and sue you, saying they didn't know that there was barley in your beer. They could do it, and they would probably win. Just saying's all. Just saying's all. I mean, if you can sue a restaurant for hot coffee burning you because you didn't know it was going to be hot, or you can sue a restaurant for a toilet seat falling on your penis, or you can sue a restaurant for any number of things. You can sue a cigarette company, even with its like 50% ads on it saying smoke this and die, and win. If you can sue McDonald's and say you made me fat, I'm sure somebody who has an allergy to gluten could sue a beer company that does not have the fact that there would be gluten, or at the very least barley, because some people would say, I didn't know barley had gluten in it. Yeah, you know, I'm sure somebody could do that. Look, while it was pouring, it was a deep, deep mahogany brown. In the glass, it basically looks black. The head is a deep brown. Nice little snap, crackle, pop, so that head is going to start forming tunnels. There are some tunnels forming right there. Visually very appealing. Scent. Okay, it has that that dark, almost toffee-like smell that some brown ales come off with, and it has a beautiful, beautiful nuttiness, like the skin. You know, like peanuts and cashews and even almonds and anything else. When you crack them out of their shell, they have that skin still on the nut. It kind of has that that smell, the smell of those skins, kind of just dry nuttiness. And there is a note of vanilla in there. But it's fairly subtle. It's pretty much hidden behind the maltiness and the nuttiness of the beer. Let's try the beer. Cheers. thank you again, Ben, for sending this beer out. There's a hole for me right in the middle. It's kind of heart-shaped. It's telling me it loves me. Okay. First and foremost, one of the best brown ales I've ever ingested. There are a bunch of good brown ales. Hell, I even like some of the more simple brown ales. Like, I love Black Oak's brown ale. I like this more than Black Oak's brown ale. Now, the vanilla is very apparent in the taste. It wasn't very apparent on the nose. And I'm not saying they did it, but it kind of has like that extract taste because it's just super sweet vanilla. It kind of tastes like an extract. Kind of tastes like baking vanilla that a lot of people use. Almost like one of the jars, the big jars of like vanilla extract you'd get from, say, Costco. Again, not saying that it isn't an actual bean. I'm telling you what it tastes like to me, which doesn't mean that's what it is. I mean, it just might not have been. It might not have been used in a way I'm used to. It may have. Maybe they use their beans in a different way. I don't know what the fuck they do with their beans if they use beans. I don't know what the fuck they do. There is a full-on nutty dryness. So you get caramel and toffee. You get this nutty dryness. You get a nice, a beautiful vanilla sweetness that goes all the way to the end. And then at that end, you get that nutty dryness coming back and mixing with the vanilla. It actually makes this a beautiful little brown ale. And there is a tiny bit of biscuitiness in the back end. It's a low ABV, so you could drink a lot of these. This isn't cold, so if there was any faults, I'd be picking them up. Ice cold, I don't know if this would have much taste, even just out of the fridge for a while. I don't know if it would have much taste, because the tastes are all there. But the best part about this beer is they're not all in-your-face flavors. So these are flavors that you could actually sit back and enjoy for a while. It's a really nice beer. This is the third beer that Ben sent me that I've done. I will probably do one more, and then I'll put the beers away. The rest of the beers he sent me, I'll put them away, and I'll get to them at some point as time goes on, because my fridge is still full of beers from Steve and from Lee and from Lee and from Nick, and beers that I picked up myself. So I have to be careful on that stuff, and I have to pick up Ben some stuff to send back to him. I have some stuff to send out to Lee. I have some stuff that I'm picking up for a guy in BC, not Steve. Steve said he's making another box, so when he sends me his box, I'll pick him up some new stuff. But there is another guy in BC that wanted to do a trade with me, so I'm picking some stuff up for him too. Because Ben's in Ontario, I have to pick up stuff from around here, so I'm waiting for certain releases to come out. Now, for Redline itself, this beer is great. I would love to try other Redline beers. Luckily, I have one more to try. I do hope they can everything, so one day I can just show up and pick up the entire lineup. They are not one of the breweries coming to the Albino Rhino Beer Fest, so that's a sad thing. Maybe next year we can get them out. I'm at 26 breweries already, so maybe I could make room for one more Redline if you want in, or maybe not, who knows. I don't even know how the festival's going to end up going. Anyway, back to the beer. I would give this an 8.75 out of 10. I really like this. The only thing that would make me like it a little more is if that vanilla was more rounded, if it wasn't as much of a sweet pop in the mouth. But yeah, that's my only drawback on the beer, is that itself. So thank you very much, Ben, for sending it out. Thank you, Redline, for brewing this beer. This was leather interior from Redline. 8.75 out of 10. Cheers. It's gonna stain my hair. I'm going to have one of those horrible craps in the morning. Because I've drank 3 craft beers. And I'm thinking about drinking one more. And they all have been very dark. Very dark beers. Ooh, it's going to be a black tarp. It is. Thank you guys. Bye.